Hey, what's up everybody? This is Dave. Today I'm here in bright and sunny, I think we're in Kissimmee, Florida, just outside of Orlando. I know everybody calls it Orlando when they go to Disney, but you're not actually in Orlando. I'm pretty tired today. Been doing parks and all that stuff and a lot of walking, but also I'm tired because I watched the Super Bowl last night and had a few drinks while my Patriots lost. So that was pretty depressing. But we move on, and today I think I want to show you all some of the rides that I think you'll love, because if you're a fan of PVD horror, these are right up our alley. So we're going to have a Cryptids ride, we're going to have a Ghost ride, and we're going to have a Twilight Zone ride. So those are the things I want to show you. I'm going to show you the cues. I'm going to show you all the attention to detail that Disney does so well. They really go above and beyond when they're trying to immerse you into a story, and I just absolutely love them. So I'm going to show you those cues. I don't think I'm going to take you on the faster paced rides because I'm afraid I'll drop my camera, but I'm going to probably take you into at least one of them. And then I'm going to kind of recap and just kind of show you around the ride itself, so I can share my love for these rides with you. It is super bright today. I am being blinded right now. It's a little bit warmer than it's been when I first got here. I think, sometimes the temperatures drop down pretty low. It's been a cold front here in Florida. But today I think we're going to be in the bright 70s, and it's just going to be a nice day for this kind of stuff. So I will see you in the park, and come along and join me.
So one of my absolute favorite rides of all the parks is definitely Haunted Mansion. Gone on it 1,000 times. I'm sure if you've ever been to Disney, undoubtedly you've done it as well. And today I'm going to take us on here, but it is crazy busy today. Crazy busy day at the park. I'm going to flip this around so you can kind of see the line. I mean, it goes all the way down, packed up here. The mansion itself is undergoing some repair, which when we get closer, I'll kind of show that. But very busy day. Just kind of wanted to show this ride, the queue, all that good stuff. And we're going to go do this. We're going to go hop in line. It says only 40 minutes. We'll see. For people who aren't aware, they did close down a few areas of the park so they can do some refurb, and also they're going to be adding some expansions. So there used to be an old riverboat thing and a Tom Sawyer Island. Those have closed. And that Tom Sawyer Island is going to become Cars Land. And also behind Haunted Mansion, over by where Big Thunder Mountain is, they're going to have Villains Land, which should be awesome. I can't wait for that to come out. And I don't really know the projected dates on those things, but just a few updates that they're going to be making to the park. So as you can see, there's walls all along the side there. Usually that would be open and you could see the riverboat go around and the people on the Tom Sawyer Island. But that's obviously no longer a thing until they're done with their whatever. And also Big Thunder Mountain is closed. That's been closed for the year. I think that will be in a few months. They'll be opening that up. They refurbed it and should be a lot smoother and supposedly have some more thrills. So that's one of my favorite coasters here in the park. So I'm really excited to have that back. And it's been a real bummer not having it, actually, because that's one less thrill ride. So that just leaves Tron and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train for their thrill rides. Oh, and Space Mountain, of course. So Big Thunder Mountain's sorely missed. Haunted Mansion, obviously more of a slow, fun, scenic, somewhat comedic ride, so not necessarily thrills. But we love it so much. So again, here's the wall where they're blocking off so you can't see all the construction happening behind that wall where the Cars Land would be. This line is crazy today. There's a good look at what the Haunted Mansion looks like right now. I honestly don't know what exactly they're doing to spruce it up or why they have those blocks on. Obviously they're doing something. but I haven't really looked into what the updates are that they're making on it. So yeah, this has been covered all week. I don't know exactly when this started, but hopefully it'll be off soon because everybody that comes here is not getting to see the mansion, which is, a very big part of the attraction. They do have the carriage right here in full display. The best is to come during the holidays, either around Halloween or Christmas, because obviously everything's lit up differently. I love when it's Christmas and they have the red lights or the green lights. It's just very cool. And then Halloween, I think they do purple, which they have purple now too, actually. And they'll have like photo ops where you can take a photo in front of everything and they'll superimpose the hitchhiking ghosts and all that. So it's very cool. I just noticed that the sign over there says "Welcome, Foolish Mortals" on the construction, so that's kind of cool. From the reference the ride while they're doing all their construction signs. Here we are, entering, open for visitation. Love those statues. Lots of interactive things in this queue. Usually you can go through all these paths, but they got a lot of them chained off to make the line go a little faster. Again, can't see out here because it's all blocked off because of the construction, but normally you can see the water, and then there's a little graveyard scene over here, which unfortunately we won't be able to see today. Here's the captain. You got Master Gracie laid to rest. No mourning, please, at his request. Farewell. There's another interactive thing. I never can get it to work. Supposedly you're supposed to talk into it. This one is another thing. I actually don't really know what that does, so I won't even try and describe it. He just sneezes and the water comes out whenever he sneezes. We are almost there. Another fun thing about this ride during the, Halloween season is in that graveyard right about there, they will have a couple of characters come out and just kind of do a little crowd banter and do some skits and stuff like that. So it's something you only get during the Halloween season. And I think it's actually only during the Halloween parties that they do that. But it's fun because they're they're ghosts from the Haunted Mansion themselves. So kind of always, they just stay in character the whole time, which is cool. Now, before you actually go on the ride, there's a little introduction piece. You all gather in a room, and then the room appears to be stretching or you're sinking. You don't really know which one, which is a cool thing that, if you ever went on this as a kid, you'll always remember that scene. Kind of sticks with you. And then you go on your little dune buggies, and you go through the castle. My favorite thing about this castle is the music. I just think it's so catchy and contagious, and after you go on the ride, you just find yourself kind of singing or humming it for a while. That kind of sticks in your head, and all the scenes are just so incredible. There's a whole storyline that you can kind of follow if you want to, or you can just kind of take it as for what it's worth and just watch all the scenery. But if you watch the movies, sometimes in some of the movies, they've kind of taken some of those storylines and expanded on them. Like the bride who has all the husbands upstairs in the attic, or the Hatbox Ghost, which that was actually a later addition to this Haunted Mansion, the Hatbox Ghost, and you'll see that when we're in there. The projection looks a little different on that and the bride in the attic than kind of the rest of the stuff. I doubt you'll be able to see this, but actually on this tombstone over here, the eyes actually periodically move every now and then, which is something I never noticed until I started to pay attention to the little details and intricacies of everything. So it's just one of the things I love. You know, you just see something new every time you're on the ride. And, you know, another thing I wanted to point out was if you've been to Disney World, California, then obviously you're looking at a very different style of mansion than the one here in Orlando. So the one in California, the original one, obviously it's more New Orleans style manor, where this one looks more Victorian Gothic. So why they chose to make them look so different, I actually don't know that. But I do know, obviously, the one in California is the older model, because I think Disneyland California opened up in '74, I believe, or somewhere around there. Don't quote me on that. It looks like they're getting ready to let in some more people. And here we go. Going in. Gonna see the stretchy room. So they gather everyone in here, and then we all go into the next room, and this is where you're going to see kind of that stretchy effect once we get in there, which is awesome.
Your cadaverous pallor betrays an aura of foreboding, almost as though you sense a disquieting metamorphosis. Is this haunted room actually stretching, or is it your imagination? And consider this dismaying observation. This chamber has no windows and no doors. Which offers you this chilling challenge to find a way out. Of course, there's always my way. Chills come later. Now, they say, look alive and let's all stay together.
Okay, now we go to the dune buggies. Considering it's a children's ride, it's a pretty dark scene they show when it goes pitch black and they show the person hanging. I was kind of surprised by that. Hopefully I can pick up most of this, but there'll definitely be some brighter spots than others.
Our library is well stocked with priceless first editions, only ghost stories and marvel busts of the greatest ghost writers the literary world has ever known.
If you look down at the ground, you can see the shadow of the person playing the piano.
But there's room for 1,000. Any volunteers? If you should decide to join us, final arrangements may be made at the end of the tour.
Gets a little dark over here. the Hatbox Ghost. And at the end of the hall here, you're going to see the chandelier, hopefully.
From last Halloween, awaken the spirits with your tambourine. Creepies and crawlies, toads in a pond. Let there be music from regions beyond. Wizards and witches, wherever you dwell, give us a hint by ringing the bell.
Beginning to materialize. There is
There's way too much to see here to be able to possibly capture it all, but I'll try my best. To the attic. Our killer bride and all of her former husbands. And there she is. And now we prepare to go outside to the graveyard, and one of my favorite parts of this ride. There's too much to possibly get. I'm gonna try my best to show it all. Let's see what we got.
Until you return.
Oh! And that's it. sweet. All right, and then you leave, and then you have to leave. But it is a lot of fun. I love this one. Okay, so as you're leaving, you get to see a little bit of a different side of the castle, which is cool. Like I said, actually, it would be cool if they didn't have this green stuff all over it. So unfortunately, we're not getting to see anything too great today, but you gotta just take my word for it. It is a fun ride and super visually cool to see the castle. If it was lighter, I wanted to show also, well, maybe you can still see it. So right there in the back, also another little Easter egg that I love. Let me see if I can focus in on it a little bit. But right there in the back, in the middle, we have Mr. Toad, and that is a little memorial to the old Mr. Toad ride, which no longer exists here in Disney World. I think they still have it in Disneyland in California, but they do not have it here, unfortunately. And in the Halloween time, this whole cemetery here is filled up with fog and lights and looks really cool. But Mr. Toad was a great ride, sorely missed here. So they had to give it a little tribute. And I think now where Mr. Toad is might be Winnie the Pooh, but I could be totally wrong on that, so I apologize if I am. But yeah, it's here in spirit at least.
Next to the...
Okay, and then so we did the ride, but then the one other thing you always got to do if you come over here is check out Memento Mori, the little store that is right after the ride. And has all the Haunted Man, I can't even speak, all the Haunted Mansion merch and everything like that you could possibly ask for. That jacket is really cool. Oh, check this out. So we got the jacket, and in the lining you got the hitchhiking ghosts, you got the carriage, you got the gates, you got the gatekeeper, what do you call him? The Undertaker, the graveyard guy. I can't think of words. It's cool. Haunted Mansion shirt here. Some artwork. A lot of these button downs I haven't seen before, and this is kind of cool too. This little like polo style shirt, things like that. So lots of different merch. But one of the cool Easter eggs in the store that I haven't been able to see yet is actually this mirror. If you catch it right, there will be a face that appears. So I'm hoping one day to see that. But I have not. You can kind of see if you look closely. I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see the outline of probably there's some projection or something like that. They got some statues for the Haunted Mansion. Figurines. So our clothes. Oh, this little Doom Buggy Christmas ornament. These are all from the Christmas collection this past year, I believe. You actually get the castle as an ornament. Another cool thing that they came out this year was, let's see if I can get it to light up. Nope, not lighting up right now, but these are all little like blow mold tabletop lights. A little heftier than the outdoor blow molds you might normally see. So these are kind of cool, with the hitchhiking ghosts inside. I could hear her in the store and I couldn't tell where it was coming from, but I just found it. Here is a Madame Leota replica, which is actually really cool. I love that. I don't love $200, but I love that. It's very cool. Got a pair of Haunted Mansion bookends here, which you can see in this box right here. So very cool. And then you got the statue of the bride with her axe. All right, so that sums up the Haunted Mansion ride. Like I said, one of my favorite rides, not a thrill ride, but just visual ride, I guess. I don't know what you would call them. Just a fun one. I just really enjoy it. I love the theming. I love the characters and all the storyline. It's just a great time, but it is obviously super busy here today. So, yeah, 50 minutes, 45 minutes might be your typical wait if you were to come anytime right now. But if you come off season, you might be able to get it like 25, 30 minutes on a good day. So definitely highly recommend for all my my haunted ghoul lovers out there. It is bright and early. The park just opened, and today I'm here at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and I'm going to go on one of my newly favorite ride, and the reason for that I will explain later, but that is Hollywood Tower of Terror. I'm walking down Sunset Boulevard, and it is so beautiful out today. Like I said, the park just opened. It's about 9 a.m. right now. I never get here at opening, so kind of nice. But yeah, I'm walking down, and this is the site I am seeing as I walk towards Hollywood Tower of Terror. Such a cool site. Twilight Zone themed ride. It's a lot of fun. So forever, I was afraid to go on this ride, and that all stems back to being a kid and just remembering, you know, all the hype around this ride. It was the scariest ride at the time. I remember going with my grandparents and my parents to the park and not doing it. I didn't do a lot of rides. I wasn't a very adventurous kid. Rides scared me. But then at some point, I think actually last year, I finally got the courage to do the ride, and it's like, oh, that actually wasn't bad at all. And now I really enjoy it, and I go on it whenever I get the opportunity. So the thing that I want to highlight the most about this ride is just the cool theming inside. I love the queue for this one. The hotel is just so awesome and haunted, and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Haunting. It's just a very cool queue. I think you'll like it. Like I said, it's Twilight Zone theme, and just very, very fun. So I'm going to take you inside, show you the queue, show you the haunting hotel that has been left abandoned, it looks like, and just, yeah, show you around here. So here I go. Stand by. Like I said, the park just opened. Said it was about a 20-minute wait. Typically when I've gone on this ride, the wait is usually pretty short. But this weekend, I actually tried coming the other day, and the ride was up to like 65 minutes. And then last night I was gonna come again, and the ride was up to 90 minutes. But here's a little tip. If you wait for the Fantasmic show to begin, or just around the time when people are going into the Fantasmic show, you're probably gonna get a super short wait line. So last night when I looked again around 9, the park closes at 9:30, I think. Or might even close at 9, but they let people stay for the Fantasmic show. And the line went down to about 30 minutes last night. So even on a super busy day, the line will go down around the time of the Fantasmic show because everybody's kind of piling into there. And that's pretty much true for all the rides here. Slinky Dog is definitely one of the longer lines in the park, and even that one, if you wait for Fantasmic, it will go down pretty drastically considering it's usually at a 90-minute average, 90 to 75-minute average, I would say. But if you look up on the hotel, you'll see those doors opening as the people are dropping. And you'll hear them screaming. Always a lot of screams for Tower of Terror. I think that's a part of the reason why I didn't want to go on this one as I was a kid. Those screams really terrified me. I think one of the things that was probably the biggest misconception I had, though, is the drops are like short, or at least to me they felt short. So you drop, stop, drop again, stop, go up, drop, but it's like not like a long drop. That's what I always thought it was going to be like. You go all the way up and then you go all the way down and you go all the way up and go all the way down. It's not like that. It's little quick drops. If you don't like that feeling, which I typically don't, you may not like this ride, but if you do like the drop feeling, then you'll love it. Or you might even find this tame, probably. But I do suggest people try this ride. It's like I said, as being someone who was easily scared of rides, this one really
surprised me how not scary or uncomfortable it was. But I love the look of the hotel here. So cool. Here we go as we enter the hotel, get the overgrowth going. And I love it. The people behind me are talking about not liking drops, how bad this ride is for them. Here I am telling you guys, oh, it's good, it's not bad. And people behind me are literally saying the opposite. But, you know, everybody has their own different tolerance to these kind of things. And I just say, like with everything, try it yourself. Make your own opinion. So, I'm tired. I didn't even get a coffee yet. I gotta go get a Joffrey's coffee over here. That's the big Disney coffee, and I'll always get those when I'm here. Hollywood Studios was never really my favorite park until recently. I think with, you know, some of the rides closing in other parks and refurbishments, Hollywood Studios now probably has the biggest bang for your buck when it comes to the amount of rides. They get the Star Wars World, which isn't really my favorite thing, but I do like the world. The world's cool. I'm not a huge Star Wars guy. I actually only seen one of Star Wars, so that probably sounds crazy. But the world itself is really cool. And Toy Story World is cool. Yeah, Mickey's Runaway Railroad is cool. The Rock and Roll roller coaster I just recently started to go on. I love that now. That's Aerosmith themed. That's actually going to change to Muppet themed pretty soon. So I think March 1st that ride will be closed for a bit as they switch over the theming. Look at this. Beautiful hotel theme here. This is what I absolutely love. I love the cobwebs, the old feel on all the decor in here. As someone who loves abandoned places, I think that was the thing that caught my eye right away. It's just how cool the theming was here.
This is the last spot for outside food and drink.
Fortunately, I'm not going to get a ton of time to focus in on all the decor. They're already pretty much letting us in, so this line went super fast. Here's another angle at some of the lobby here. Love it. Absolutely love this theming here. Some dude just stepped on me and didn't even acknowledge it. Gotta love that. Oh, fun. I'm like the exact opposite. If I step on someone, I'm apologizing like 1,000 times. I don't understand that, but it's all right. Yeah. So again, this is kind of what you walk into when you come into the ride, and then the next spot we're going to get a little storyline to the ride, which is going to be cool. Here we go. On to the next part. So when you come in here, they kind of gather everyone, and then you watch the Twilight Zone intro, which I should be able to catch, hopefully. And they pack a good amount of people.
Unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone. Hollywood, 1939. Amid the glitz and the glitter of a bustling young movie town at the height of its golden age, the Hollywood Tower Hotel was a star in its own right, a beacon for the show business elite. Now, something is about to happen that will change all that. The time is now, on an evening very much like the one we have just witnessed. Tonight's story in the Twilight Zone is somewhat unique and calls for a different kind of introduction. This, as you may recognize, is a maintenance service elevator, still in operation, waiting for you. We invite you, if you dare, to step aboard, because in tonight's episode, you are the star, and this elevator travels directly to the Twilight Zone.
All right, here we go. I was trying to capture it, but you couldn't see it. There was lightning on the window on the side of me. That's why I kept kind of going over to the window. Pretty dusty. Ooh, a little bird, antique bird book. Wonder if that's supposed to be a reference to the Enchanted Tiki Room. That parrot. Now we're here in the basement of the hotel. This is where you get the maintenance elevator, where all the terror happens. Now, you're going to come up to a split here, and I don't know if there's a secret to this, but somebody once said, I'd heard someone say something like, oh, you always stay to the left, that line's quicker because it's shorter. I don't know if that's true, but I've been doing it every time, so I wouldn't know the difference otherwise. It kind of looks like it might be true, actually, because now these people have to walk through a little U-shape pattern, and I'm going to walk over here. And it's pretty much a straight line to the elevator. So it might be true. Here's a little view of what I'll be experiencing in a minute. Good luck, travelers. I also love how in character the bellhops down here always stay. It's really cool. But yeah, I definitely think if you stay straight when you're on that path, I think this line is faster. Which one?
Row 5, please.
Row 5. Right in front, row 5.
Gracious welcome to the Hollywood Tower Hotel. May I please have your attention? Thank you so very much. We are delighted that you have chosen to stay here. Once you are seated, everyone has a seatbelt that only pulls out from your left-hand side. Please fasten your seatbelt first, then secure all personal belongings. But before we send you to your accommodations, the concierge left a message.
To our valued guests, for your safety once on board, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the elevator at all times.
To the top.
He's great. This guy is great.
Special care to supervise your children's
Okay.
welfare. Thank you. Estimados huéspedes.
Here we go. All right. See you after the ride.
The next time you check into a deserted hotel on the dark side of Hollywood, make sure you know just what kind of vacancy you're filling, or you may find yourself a permanent resident.
of the Twilight Zone.
We're back. Wow, that was fun. That last drop, I kind of forgot that you like kind of fly up first, then they bring you down, and that's definitely the best one. That last drop. Let's see, did I make the board up here? Oh, there I am. I might have got my hand up. Might have. I can't tell. We'll see in a second. I'm gonna scan this so I can get my photo. Anyone who comes off this ride always has a big smile on their face, which I think is a pretty good sign of what this ride's all about. It's scary, it's tense, it's anxiety producing, and then you get off and you're like, hey, let's do it again. So when you get off, it brings you into another part of the hotel, which then connects to the lobby. Oh, look at these little vintage guys. I never noticed this. Look at those little vintage Halloween guys over on the counter over here. Got the cat, the ghost, and the pumpkin. Love that. It's just a lot to see. The hotel's very detailed. Little bellhop hat and all the luggage over here. And then we come to the store. You get all the Tower of Terror merch you could possibly want. Oh, I love that. I would actually get something. I don't know if I'm gonna get it today, but I do want a Tower of Terror shirt. Got a little bit of everything. You got Stitches. Somehow he has become one of the main figures for this ride. Got a Spirit jersey, which I'll come back to. Get this sweatshirt. Do Not Disturb. Bellhop Mickey. This is Hollywood Tower of Terror Hotel on the back, and then at the bottom of it, there is a picture of the hotel. I do like that one quite a bit. And the sweatshirt over here, which, let's see if I can get. Yeah, lots of stuff. That's it. We're gonna take off, I think. But, oh, here's a cool Twilight Zone Tower of Terror poster. I just love the vintage inspiration around this ride. Oh, let's see in the window over here. I never actually looked. Oh, cool. Again, with the vintage Halloween. Never noticed that before. So, here's another window over here. Oh, most importantly, there's a Joffrey's coffee stand right outside here, so I know what I'm doing after this. Oh, all right. More a little kind of decor and different relics, and this looks like my spare room. I just have a bunch of random stuff. I love like cultural statues and things like this, and I just have it all on a shelf in a spare room. So basically my house could be Tower of Terror's waiting room or lobby. And then they got the Joffreys, and then there's a Tower of Terror themed drink, which is frozen lemon, Minute Maid, and wild grape. And you can add Grey Goose to make it spirited. And I'm not gonna lie, that sounds disgusting. So I will not be getting that drink. Oh, and then the collectible pennies, look at these. I never think to look at these machines, but they got just a few different Tower of Terror themed ones with different characters. I love the Chip and Dale and the Goofy, of course. But the classic Mickey and Minnie. And here's a view of the side of the hotel. Hair's probably all messed up now from that ride, but it's always messed up in my opinion, so that's no different. Here's my summary. If you are coming to the Disney parks and you are going to do a day at Hollywood Tower in Hollywood Studios,
Do not miss this ride. Even if you're scared, do it once. I have a feeling you will change your mind and you will want to do it many more times. Here's one more view of the Tower of Terror. I'll get it from further away so you can see it better. But if you do it once, you're going to want to do it again and again and again. Here it is behind me. Look at that beauty. But even if you just do it once and get the experience, I think you should. If you're a fan of the dark stuff like I am, and which is probably the reason watching PVD horror in the first place, you're going to enjoy this. You enjoy the theming. If you love Twilight Zone, this is your ride right here. It's just fun. There's some bellhops coming our way. Come during Christmas time, and they project on the tower, which is awesome. So they do their little Christmas projection shows, which, you know, they're kind of known for at this point, with like doing that in the castle at the Magic Kingdom. So I got to see a little bit of it last year, but I didn't get to see the full projection show. And then they do the snow on the street, the Snoop. So it's a whole Christmas vibe, plus on a haunting hotel. It's just, I don't know, it's just good times. So check it out. Don't skip this ride. One of the highlights at Hollywood Studios. If you come before March 1st, definitely make sure you check out Rock and Roller Coaster. So you can check out the rock and roll theming before they change it over to Muppets. I'm not going to pretend like I'm going to be heartbroken about the change in theme because I'm newer to the ride. I didn't do it when I was younger. Like I said, wasn't super adventurous. I just did it for the first time last year. I enjoy it, but I love Muppets, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. And I was a little bummed that they took down the Muppets 3D. I think it used to be 4D when I was a kid. I feel like it used to be 4D. So I'm just glad that they're keeping Muppets alive. And I know that the Muppets also are going to have a show coming out on Disney Plus pretty soon. So, you know, I love that they're keeping Muppets relevant. It's important for kids to have those things, you know? We grew up on those, and we turned out okay, I think. Sort of. But yeah. Okay. So far, we have 2 rides down. We have 1 more to go. I'm going to try and hit that up later. I had to do multiple trips for that one because of the crazy lines this weekend. So we'll get onto that. But yeah, Hollywood Studios, Tower of Terror, don't miss it. I highly recommend. And just enjoy your time at Hollywood Studios in general. If you're looking for a place to eat, 50s Prime has become one of my new favorite spots. Their fried chicken is awesome. Their meatloaf is actually really good. I get the mom's sampler. So I highly recommend going to 50s Prime if you're going to come over here. But there's also a couple other good restaurants. I just haven't done enough in this park to recommend more than what I know so far. So yeah, all right. See you over at Animal Kingdom. Right here behind me, it is not up and running, but I do have the beautiful Everest, and I absolutely love this ride. I think this is actually one of my favorite roller coasters here in the Disney parks. I just have such a fun time, but I also absolutely adore this queue because it's all about Yetis, and I love cryptids, so this is right up my alley. So, I mean, basically you are transported into another world as if we are preparing to climb Everest, and we're learning all about the Yetis and, you know, idols and, you know, how they were worshipped and their purpose for protection and everything else. So when I take you into that queue, when this ride is up and running, you'll kind of get a sense of that. But I mean, when you look at this, it can be a little scary. And I used to be pretty big wuss when it came to roller coasters, but I've come a long way, and I go on this multiple times now when I come to Animal Kingdom. So you come down there, and there's always some great screams. When you go up that, you end up coming to some tracks that have apparently been torn apart by the Yeti, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. A ton of fun. But the outside of this ride is beautiful as well. Kind of showing you some of the decor around here. I love it. It's got the Tibet feeling.
Some Yeti idols here. This is the store that you come out of. But yeah, it's like being transformed into another world. And as I mentioned, we're just waiting for this ride to be up and running. I don't know exactly why it's down at the moment. Hopefully not too much longer, but I will tell you, there are people waiting here to get onto this ride, because I think it's one of the more loved ones. So Expedition Everest right here, and then here's the main sign for it. Definitely a fun time and very visually and aesthetically cool. Yeah, I just absolutely love this ride, so hopefully you will as well. We are now in the Expedition Everest queue, which it says it's gonna be like 40 minutes, so we'll see if it actually takes that long. Sometimes this queue can go a little faster, but you know, as I kind of showed on the outside, it's definitely one of the more detailed and elaborate queues as you go in. I mean, it's nothing insane. It just takes you to another country, another place, and I just love that. It's very authentic feeling, and just, you know, I like the storyline, the lore with the Yeti, and kind of how they go into all that. And the ride itself is definitely a lot of fun. It's my favorite, I think, probably favorite roller coaster right now. I mean, Guardians is its own thing, and that's amazing, obviously, but oh, actually, as we're in here, the line has now gone down to 35 minutes, so things are kind of evening out. Yesterday, tried to do this and was never able to get on here. The line never went down, which was crazy. It actually went to like 95 minutes, which I've never seen before. But another busy day at the park. Just not as busy. It's literally such a beautiful day today. It's like probably 70s. Sun is shining. It's a little hot because I'm wearing jeans, not, you know, because it's been cold the last few days, but just a beautiful day overall. I absolutely love cryptids and lore, which is, I think, why I like this ride so much. And I just, you know, would be curious to know if you are also fans of cryptids and these creatures, these monsters, and if so, like, what are some of your favorite ones? I think the Yeti's up there for me, but also like Mothman. Yeah, Mothman's probably my favorite. Jersey Devil's a good one. There's so many different ones. Would love to see other things done with all that kind of stuff. I feel like there's a lot you can do. If you've seen the movie Pig Hill, that's another one. Another lore that's based on, oh geez, I'm forgetting what state that was kind of based out of. There's a lot of those kind of things. I like that. Oh, Frogman was a cool one. But yeah, as you go in, you kind of see all the traveling expeditions up Everest, all the artifacts around that. But in between everything, you'll kind of see all the Yeti stuff kind of sprinkled in until we get further along, and then it gets even heavier and heavier. I think the other reason why I like this coaster is it's a little longer than some of the other ones. I mean, Tron is amazing, but it's 90 seconds long or something like that. It's so short. Guardians is a decent amount of time. Seven Dwarfs is way too short. This one feels a little longer than most. Throughout it, you get a lot of cool angles. If we're here long enough, you might see the train go up the mountain. There they go. Here's where we start to get into a lot of like the Yeti lore, the idols. If you look, there's like details everywhere in this whole queue. Just love all the carvings and everything like that. Even their trash cans. Saw another fountain yesterday, which like a crazy amount of change. I can only imagine if they were to drain that fountain, how much money they would be in there. When you're actually on the ride, it's cool because there's a couple of different things than other coasters here. There's a part that you go backwards, which kind of throws you for a loop in it for a second. You get to this part where the tracks have been torn apart, and then all of a sudden you start to roll backwards pretty quickly, and that part's pretty thrilling. And then as you start to go forward, you go down a big dip, and then back into some caves, and then right at the very end, before the ride finishes, you get a glimpse of the Yeti kind of clawing at you, and it's very quick, but it's very effective. They show it just enough to give you the impact of it. It's a lot of fun. Skip most of the outdoor section. That's all kind of, you go around this path, it's all pretty much the same. A lot of bamboo, which is an invasive species. Plant, I believe. I hope that's right. But yeah, again, we go into this little shelter here to prepare for our visit to the Himalayas. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So we enter. There's some tons of socks. Got some warm socks. I think that's needed in case, just in case it gets cold, which I'm assuming Everest would. Extremely cold. Are those Bombas socks? I don't know.
I mean, it's all good stuff.
Hopefully they're good.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. It's a nightmare.
Love this. Love all the detail, all the stuff that they add to this queue to make it look authentic. They really, I can only imagine how long this takes. They really went above and beyond. But imagine having to set this up, the prep, that'd be fun. Buying all the stuff for us.
I wanted your advice, and I want to tell you, I can always, every time I come in here, I'm so surprised. I did find
There we go.
And one of them,
There we go.
I can't wait to tell you the story about when it smelled.
The one who it's all about.
One of them.
The Yeti.
Yeah. 20, I'm going to find out.
Tons of artifacts and information. Oh, look at this guy.
All Pinocchio themed. And
There he is.
I just go there because I live there.
This part I love though, right here. Look at this. The Yeti and culture. I just love all the detail, all the information they give you going in here. I mean, sometimes your wait's so short, you really don't even get a chance to look through all this. But on those days where it's a little backed up, I mean, this is definitely appreciated to be able to just kind of get into the story more. I just think it's fun. It gives it a little something, you know, extra. It's busy in here. It's busy and it's loud, so I'm hoping you guys can even hear me. I'm trying not to talk too loud and be obnoxious, but it's super busy. You can overhear they got some supposed photos from an ill-fated Forbidden Mountain expedition of 1982, but these photos survived. There's some old masks from different cultures, different areas, and then of course the Yeti mask right here. It's very cool. You know, I was thinking about each of the parks, and you know, I decided to do these 3 rides, obviously for the theme. PVD horror being more of like, you know, darker themed stuff. So we have Magic Kingdom, we did Haunted Mansion. Animal Kingdom, we have Everest. Hollywood Studios, we have Tower of Terror. And then Epcot, we have drinking and food and Guardians. That's the purpose of Epcot, in my opinion. And I love that. I love all the food, the festivals they do. They do Festival of the Arts. food and wine, flower and garden, and holidays. And for each one, they have special food, special drinks that they introduce each year. And it's just, for me, it's a lot of fun because those are some of my favorite things to do. And visit all the countries and stuff like that. It's just, I enjoy that for what it is. So I definitely recommend not skipping that park if you do decide to come and do a trip here, if you haven't already. But those festivals are not to be missed. Here we are with some footprints. Oh, we got some scat over there. I don't know if you want a close up of the scat. I'll save you that. I don't think you want that. But it's cool. We got it. Some footprints of a bear, tiger, wolf, yak. And I think over here you're going to see the other ones. Got the camera trap. Ooh, tiger scat. No thanks. Got a bear skull. All this stuff over here. Prehistoric giants. Yeti footprint. Ape. All different stuff. Here's another angle of the statues over here. The other good thing about this queue is, you know, I don't know if this feels like it's long for you, but actually once you get out of this room, you're in the ride. So, well, actually, no, I lied. One more little area, but you're basically in the ride at this point. So the queue may seem long at times, and sometimes like when you're outside, it's like, oh man, it's going to go forever. But once you're in here, you're pretty much in the ride. Respect the power of the Yeti. The weight of the evidence leads to the inescapable conclusion the Yeti is real. By Professor Pima Doherty, PhD, curator of the Yeti Museum, in case you didn't know that existed. Oh, we're on our way to our expedition. Like I said, you come out here and it's just a little quick thing before you get onto the ride out here. So, you know, overall the queue is not super long and windy. You feel like you get in pretty quick, and a ton of detail, like I've said 1,000 times, which I absolutely love. And it's a thrill ride and it's fun. And if you're gonna do it, after you go backwards, you're gonna go on a big drop, and right before you go on that drop is when you get your photo taken. So if you're on that and you want to take a fun photo, I highly suggest it. I'll try and see if I can do mine afterwards. But here we are in our loading dock area. Oh, also a must, get the back of all the thrill rides, get the back seats. You feel it more. When you're in the front or even the middle, you really don't feel all the drops, the turns, all that stuff. When you're in the back, you feel everything. Pretty sure that's science. Don't quote me, but I had a cast member tell us that, and he was, you know, he changed the way that we did rides after that. I was always asking for the back. So on this one, no different, definitely ask for the back. There they go on their trains, getting ready to go. All right, we're just about to get on. There's the empty train. Here's the one right before us. This is where you want to be sitting, for sure. You will feel it, and it is a lot of fun. Here we go. All aboard. So when you come out, you get your photos, and you're let out into the store. They got some Expedition Everest merch. They got the Spirit jersey. Pretty cool decor in the store too. Again, kind of sticking with the themes, which I love. But look at all these masks. These are so cool. Oh, I love the elephant one. I would love to have some of these. I think I got like one or two, but they're nothing. They're probably nothing, actually. I think I got them at the thrift store. So, no relics, but I still have a ton of stuff. As I mentioned in the last ride, like liked to collect different cultural things. Just find different cultures interesting. So, you know, masks, statues, all that kind of stuff. I do love. We got some Yeti shirts over here. Bigfoot's cooler cousin. Ooh, that's fighting words right there. I don't know about that one. The Everest, little pullover. Kids running, which they're not supposed to. I'm old. Don't mind me. Lots of stuff in the store. Check out after you go on a ride. I actually got this shirt the other day. I like it. Plain and simple, like me. As promised, here is the photo pass. I was able to get my pose in before the end of the ride. Oh, I had a great one the other day. I gotta see if I can find it actually. One time I was pretending like I fell asleep on the ride, and when we were going to look at the pictures later, this little girl goes, "He passed out." So she'll have that memory forever. This is always a great view over here of the ride. You get to see the people come up, and you get to see them go down. Super fun. There they go. So this is what it looks like on the other side. It's great. So, 3 rides, 3 parks. Everest probably being my favorite of the coasters like this. You know, I guess Tron and Guardians, obviously, those are amazing rides, but I don't even put them in the same category as some of these, like Big Thunder Mountain. That's another great one, but I just love Everest so much. I love the theming, like I said. I love just some of the aspects of the ride just are cool. The backwards part, the going up. So just a lot of cool stuff in it. And Tower of Terror, great experience over in Hollywood Studios. And then the Haunted Mansion, obviously one of the better Disney parks rides. So definitely hope you were able to get a good view of what I think is a great 3 pairings of rides for people who are interested in maybe visiting and wondering if this is something up their alley. If you're more of like a horror fan, like I said, you know, typically I'm sure most people are assuming like Universal's more up their alley, and for many reasons it probably is, but there is still stuff to do in Disney that you will enjoy if you are a horror fan and you kind of like things like this. And I just like that it was like 3 very different experiences. We got the fast roller coaster, we got the drop thrill in, you know, Tower of Terror, and then we got the fun, slow, more scenic Haunted Mansion. So just 3 really fun experiences. And then, like I said, you got to go to Epcot and you got to get the food and drink and Guardians over there. Not to, you know, totally discount Tron. It's just Tron has had a super long wait line this whole trip, so I keep kind of discounting it. I did go on it the first day I was here, but I mean, it's been pretty busy over at Tron all week, so I do really enjoy that. But like I said, it is super short. Actually, I think before I said 90 seconds, I think it's more like 65 or something like that. It's very short. Super fun, but short. Yeah, so this is my park video. I'll do more of these as we go along, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you come to these parks, or if you've already been and you have thoughts about these rides, hit me up, let me know what you think. And if you're ever coming and you want to see if I'm going to be here, because I do come pretty frequently, let me know when you're coming and maybe we will bump into each other. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you later.